Welcome to today's podcast with me, Sanjiv Sangha. Every episode, we look at a word and how it shaped my life. And then how I worked with the word to create a new future as well. Hopefully, from this, you'll get some top tips on how to speed your way through your problem or matter, or just give you a little bit of perspective from me. Today's word is identity. I wasn't sure where this was going to take me, and it became a little bit of self-discovery, and quickly it led me to labels, something that I was going to do a lot later down the line, but now is as good a time as any. So the big question is, who am I? Who are you? You know who you are. When I hear the word identity, it throws me back to a time when they wanted to bring in identity cards into the UK. And there were lots of negative news stories about it, and they did it because they were seen as impinging on our freedoms, and that CCTV was the balancing act of not having to carry around identity cards. I'm guessing that identity cards would have had the same sort of information as a driver's license or a passport. But can this be who we are? I looked up the definition of identity on helpfulprofessor.com, and it states that identity is a collection of attributes, beliefs, and experiences that shape how an individual perceives themselves and how they're perceived by others. It encompasses personal, social, and cultural components, often evolving over time. In sociology, we create aspects. Sociology is a study of human behavior in essence, and the key aspects that were listed were gender, race, sex, ethnicity, social class, ability and disability, relationship status, age, single, no, religion, and family. Now, funnily enough, those fall under the Equality Act, where many of them are protected characteristics of which you cannot discriminate against. But that's not what I'm here to discuss. When I was younger, I don't think my identity really came to mind that much. I knew I didn't look like the people on TV, that's for sure. But other than that, not really. I appreciate now it plays a bigger role about who we are, and partially that's because we have so much access to the information, and that's no bad thing. There's a lot of emphasis around pronouns and race, and if I was to give you 30 seconds, what would you list as your identity? Have a go. Well, what did you list? I'm guessing your name, sex, how old you are, where you're from, a little bit about your position in your family. I've definitely struggled with my identity, and not in the way that you might think, like race or in other protected characteristics, but more with the question of who am I? I definitely labelled myself in the past as an architect, and I've led with it. A dragon boater, I've led with that too. Recently, it might have been a bit more of a yogi, a sister for sure. And then very quickly it moved into labels like little sister and baby of the family. But if we rewind a little bit and go backwards, the moment we're born, we're given a sex, we're given a race, and we officially start the aging process. Our parents might bring us up within their religious beliefs, and we might end up supporting the same football team as them. Football can be considered as a religion as well. But are these things us, the true us? There is a point of separation that can occur in teenage years when children start thinking a little bit more independently and about their circumstances. And this can cause the odd disagreement in the family dynamic, where the teenager might challenge the status quo. As I said, I didn't really know about identity, but what I did know was labels. And I had loads of them. Oh my days. They were gifted to me or dumped on me like lead balloons. Some of these I've been carrying around with me for years, even decades. And they became so entwined with who I thought I was that I didn't like the person that I was seeing when I looked in the mirror. And yet, this person I knew, it wasn't me. For sure, it was just other people's labels stung. Something that they might have said and that they wouldn't even remember. I took it to heart. It started in secondary school, for sure. And I was teased so much by my classmates, like incredible amounts. They defined me as a SWAT, a TP, a teacher's pet. I wish I was. I wasn't. I was a smart kid. I didn't answer back, and I didn't get into mischief with my teachers. And that's because, like, my dad would have been really annoyed. That's a nice way of putting it. I definitely put my foot in it, and I still do. I have always had a bit of a different thought process, but everyone can say that about themselves because we're all individuals. I would be there looking at something from every perspective, every angle, and landing on my conclusion, which would always be at a different timing to others. So the conversation might have moved on. And it's safe to say I didn't fit in at school. The entire class, apart from one person, was Indian. So race and origin was not a thing. And it didn't make me different to others. It was just me. I suppose I used to react quite a lot when people teased me. And sometimes I'm guessing, well, actually, no, it did. It used to bring me down. But ultimately, I knew I wasn't going to be there forever, so I'd always bounce back. And I knew that this time was going to pass, that I would be out of Wolverhampton and I wouldn't have to look back if I didn't want to. And that comes from having siblings who were older, who'd left home to explore the wider world. And they were doing fun things. And I didn't look back. And I had lots of fun as well. I love Wolverhampton. And it holds all the people that I care most deeply about. And so I'm always going back there. But the labels that others gave me really started to stick when I was a bit older. And they were pretty harsh. They were generally associated from workplaces and probably began at university. And as I progressed through my career and led teams, my teammates, people who would work for me would call me a hard beep or a beep boss, and they thought it was okay. And these people were people that were my friends, and we used to go out for drinks and have a right giggle. And it was in jest, but some of this stuff can hurt. One of these comments was made over 13 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. And they used to be quite happy to say it in front of other people. But, we were laughing. I was told once that somebody at work was sensitive, to which I responded, so am I. We all are. That's what makes us human. That's the joy of it. What I should point out is something that your friend or family member might call you that is really sticking to you, that a few days or years, there's a strong chance that they don't even remember what they've said. Your parent might describe you as a sporty one or the creative one. Well, maybe you're both, and amazing to boot. Someone might say you're stubborn or disruptive. Well, the question is, are you feeding these personas that somebody else is labeling you with? What do you want to be? What are the traits that you want to have? Unfortunately, I haven't been the best at leaving the labels others have given me behind. I've listened to the negatives and they've hit me like a bolt of lightning, and then I've watered them and let them flourish into something else. I've lost all the positives that I've been given. I think everyone who I've been around knows that I've always tried to do my best for everybody involved, which would leave me stretched as I was always under-resourced at work and I was overworked. And that was because I didn't set my boundaries in place about what was acceptable for me, because I didn't believe I could. So even though I didn't think I was these labels that people had given me, they somehow became part of me, and I kept watering them. And I did not create the space or give myself the time to reflect on them. And that's such a gift to be able to do that. It's a really heavy weight of being someone I wasn't. So I definitely became a smaller person. I dulled and numbed myself so others would feel better about themselves. I fought hard to disassociate myself from me and not think I was what other people portrayed. And this was more, I realized, about how they were feeling within their own setup. So now I'm here thinking about who am I? Well, I'm a sister, yes. Baby of the family, sure. Mum's baby, yeah. But I'm not a baby in life. I'm a woman. I'm an interested person. I'm an avid learner. I'm sporty, creative. I'm kind. I'm compassionate, honest. I have integrity. I take pride in my work. I like my work. And I'm an auntie, a mussy. I love that. It's my favourite. That took me quite a while to put together. And we have to be who we want to see and feel, not what others expect of us. And we can do that within a healthy social context. We all have momentary blips, but if you can reflect on your blip and your behavior, then you have the autonomy to correct it. You have your own agency. Don't let others seep into your boundaries and diffuse who you are. If your friend is saying you're being a bit of a twit, you can ask them, why are you saying that? And reflect on it. Take it away. Have a little think. And if you agree with it, well, are you going to change it? What are you going to do? But if you don't agree with it, then put it down. Let it go. You can change that. You can create the behavioral patterns that are acceptable to you. So why don't you look at all the labels you have, even the ones that you might not even want to acknowledge? Turn over those stones and have a look. Go into the deepest depths of it. List them, contemplate them, decide what you want to carry, and cross out what you don't want, and work towards leaving it behind. You can do this. Anger was on my list for sure. For me, it was all the things that I would bottle up and feel frustrated about. And I have constantly been working with this and learning how to change the energy around it and use it to my advantage. I have new lessons around it all the time. Sometimes it's just about looking at it and letting it go, going, thank you, no, thank you. Can you change your perspective on something that you are not keen on holding? So for me, instead of feeling anger, I want to experience joy and laughter. And it's by asking those questions that you can move through it in a positive way. Release what is not yours and choose to identify and live the way you want to live. You be you. Let yourself shine. You're here to shine. I will do bonus episodes, which I'm very excited about. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in them, please direct message me on Instagram on Sanjiv Sangha, or you can email me at hello@sanjivsangha.com. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to listen to some more. And thank you for listening. Have a top-tastic day. Yay!